Welcome students. Today we are going to discuss about Ohm's law, the practical which we have to conduct in laboratory. The aim of this experiment can be written in three forms. The first is to study the dependence of current on potential difference, means how current is dependent on potential difference. Second, we can write this aim as to find unknown resistance. We have to find the value of an unknown resistance which we are going to use in the circuit. That is also done by using Ohm's law. And third is simply to verify Ohm's law. We have to verify Ohm's law. For this, we are going to use some apparatus which are like this. First is battery, connecting wires, unknown resistance, rheostat, voltmeter, ammeter and key. These apparatus we are going to use for verifying this Ohm's law. First, we are going to see about these apparatus. First, we are taking battery. Actually, we have studied battery is a device which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. But in lab, we are going to use this type of battery. It is basically an adapter type battery which will decrease the 220 volts supplied in it to these values. This battery will give you 0 to 12 volt. This is the knob by which we can adjust the potential difference. This is on off key and this is the indicator which will tell you that current is flowing in the circuit. Second are connecting wires. Connecting wires are made up of this copper, brown in color. This is cotton covering on it which provide an insulation. Before joining these in the circuit, we have to rub these ends with sandpaper so that if there is any layer of corrosion on it, that is removed. The third is the unknown resistance. This is basically a resistance box. It does not have any positive or negative terminal. In it, when you open this box, you will find a nichrome wire which is connected with this end and this end. So we have to find the resistance of this nichrome wire. The next is rheostat. Rheostat is a device which is also called variable resistor. So this is rheostat. This is its input and this is its output. These two connections are used, this and this, for connecting the wires. On it, there is a cylinder. On the cylinder, there is wire which is around this cylinder, and this is the slider. This slider. Let me use the other one. This is the slider, right? When you slide this slider, we are basically changing the length of this wire which is around this cylinder. And you know, resistance depends upon length. If length is more, resistance will be more. If length is less, resistance will be less. So this is rheostat and is called variable resistance also. The next is voltmeter. It is going to measure the potential difference. So this is voltmeter. On it, you have a needle, pointer, and there is a scale on it. For taking the reading from any scale, we should know the least count of that scale. The least count you have to calculate. you have to see the bigger marks. In this voltmeter, the bigger mark is at 0 and the next is at 0.5. Between 0 and 0.5, there are 10 divisions. You can count there are 10 divisions. So we have to find how much one division measures, and that is called least count. I am writing on the board. Least count. The minimum reading which can be measured by any scale. Here we were talking about this voltmeter. So least count of our voltmeter 0.5 minus 0 upon 10, because there were 10 smaller divisions. It becomes 0.05 volt. So one smaller division gives you 0.05 volt. The next device which we are going to use is ammeter. There are basically two types of ammeter in the lab. One is which measures in ampere, and the other is which measures in milliampere. Microampere, that ammeter is normally not used in lab. For finding its least count, again we have to see its divisions. First division is 0. The next bigger division is 100. Between 0 and 100, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 small divisions. So we have to find the value of one small division. So least count of our ammeter, 100 minus 0 upon 5, that is 20 milliampere. Now we are ready for taking the readings. We have come to know about how to take the readings from these meters. Next, first understand what is basically Ohm's law. Ohm's law tells you the dependence of current on potential difference. It states that at constant temperature, keep this thing in mind, it should be at constant temperature, because when you studied in theory classes, resistance depends upon temperature. It increases with temperature. So if we are not taking the constant temperature, the readings of our ammeter and voltmeter, they will be affected. At constant temperature, the current flowing in the conductor, that is I, current is denoted by I, is directly proportional to potential difference applied, which is denoted by V. Mathematically, this statement can be written as V directly proportional to I. When you remove this sign of proportionality, you have to provide a constant. Here, the constant is R. So this relation becomes V is equal to IR. This R, which is a constant, stands for resistance. Resistance is basically electrical friction. It opposes the flow of current. If a wire has more resistance, so it will allow less current to pass. And we can find mathematically the resistance as ratio of V and I. V upon I will give you the value of resistance, and the unit of this resistance is unit of R. It is ohm. This R we can also find from the slope of VI graph. This is our graph. OA is the graph. OA is VI graph. And for finding the slope of this OA, we have to take a point here, draw two perpendiculars on both the axes. From here we get the value of V, or from here we get value of I. Then getting this ratio, we can find resistance. In this type of graph, the resistance at every point will be same. Now I am drawing the circuit diagram for you. First, we are taking this unknown resistance R, ends are X and Y. We have to measure the potential difference across this resistance. For measuring the potential difference, we have to use voltmeter, which is to be connected in parallel combination. Then we need an ammeter, which is connected in series and is going to give you the value of current flowing through this resistor. Then we have this battery. Symbol of this battery is bigger line and smaller line connected in series. This one part is cell. So this is a battery of two cells basically. This point is positive and smaller line tells you negative. So this is the source of potential difference. Then it is key here. Key is switch. When you open the key, the current will not flow. When you close the key, the current will flow. Then next is variable resistance, which is called rheostat. And now our circuit is complete for verifying Ohm's law. You have to close this key so that current flows through the circuit. Positive of ammeter is towards the positive of battery. So these should be like this. Now we are moving on to the circuit to take the readings. See, I have connected these appliances just according to the circuit diagrams. Follow the circuit diagram and see the positive and negative properly. The connection should be tight. If the connections are not tight, the appliances might not give the readings. Till now the key is open. Now I am closing this key. First you see the ammeter and voltmeter are at 0 reading, means they are not giving you any values. Now I am closing the key and you are seeing the needles are giving the readings. And with the help of this slider we are going to vary these readings. The first reading I am taking, it is 300 plus 1. For ammeter, 300 plus 1. We will calculate it later. In voltmeter it is 2 plus 3. And we are removing this key. Let it cool first. Then for taking second reading, again key is inserted and we are sliding this rheostat. Right? Now this ammeter is giving you value 300 and voltmeter is giving you a reading of 2. Again key open. Just after taking the readings, the key should be opened by you to avoid unnecessary heating of the circuit. Now for taking third reading, I am again inserting the key. And sliding this. Rheostat. In ammeter, I am getting 200 plus 2 small divisions. And in voltmeter, it is 1.5 plus 2 small divisions. Now I have taken the readings, opening the key, switching off this battery. Now for further, I am writing the readings on this board. VI, least count of our voltmeter was 0.05 volt and least count of our ammeter, this was 20 milliampere. Our first reading was 2 plus 3 small divisions. 3 small divisions. You have to keep the reading properly in mind. Now put the value of least count here. You get 2 plus 3 into 0.05. This is 2 plus 0.15 and we get 2.15 volts. So this is our first reading. For this ammeter it was 300 plus 1 small division, and 1 small division is equal to 20 milliamperes. So it is 320 milliamperes. So this is our first reading. For second reading, our voltmeter reading was 2 volt and our ammeter reading was 300 milliampere. Third reading, it was 1.5 plus 2 small divisions. So this becomes 1.5 plus 2 into 0.05. This becomes 0.1. So it is 1.6 volt. Here it was 200 plus 2 small divisions. So this becomes 200 plus 2 into 20. So this is 240 milliampere. So our observation table is ready. Now we are finding resistance. For resistance, V should be in volts, I should be in amperes, then R will be in ohms, but our values are in milliampere. So milliampere is equal to 10 raised to power minus 3 ampere. Use this conversion and we are going to get the correct value. So I am finding R for you. R is V upon I. So in first, V is 2.15 volt. This is 320 milliampere multiplied by 10 raised to power minus 3. And after solving it, we get 6.71 ohm. For second, 2 volt upon 300 milliampere, 10 raised to power minus 3, conversion factor. Solving 6.7 ohm. The third was 1.6 upon 240 milliampere, conversion factor. We get value 6.66 bar. This is nearly on rounding of 6.7 ohm. So you have seen our resistance comes out to be 6.7, 6.7, 6.71. After adjusting it, rounding off, it is also 6.7 ohm. So we have seen we get the constant value of resistance from our readings, and if we plot the graph with these readings, we are going to get this straight line, and from this straight line, if we are finding the slope, so we will get 6.7 as its resistance. So this was Ohm's law and how to verify it. Hope you have understood it. Thank you very much.